Similarly, under neoclassical approaches, human relation movement, behavioral approach, and the modern management approaches, we have quantitative management science. So, for example, you have studied this thing, that is quantitative management science, that is under modern management approaches in your last semester. So, can you just guess what is that subject? It is an operations research OR subject that you have studied. So that comes under quantitative management science. It is one of the evolution of modern management approaches. Fact-wise, operations research is a research subject. So that comes under management. It is a MBA core subject. So that is being studied as an elective for your curriculum. So under Taylor's scientific management, so he gone with few of the experiments. So one of the experiment was a time and motion study. So concept is how a set of work or a piece of work could be done by the employees in order to maintain the smooth production. So stop clock was being used in order to track through the activities of an employee. That is, we had a start time and a motion study was calculated. It is same as if like a shift job. In a 24 hours, we have 8 hours of shift. So tracking through the 8 hours, the activities of an employee with respect to the stop clock. So that was a study that is being made with respect to the time and motion. In fact, overall the start time and the motion study, so under which each activities of a job was to be timed, was managed with the help of a stopwatch. So in this study they developed, so what sort of job could be done in stipulated time. So a defined time constraint was being managed for a particular job. For example, in your case, so if the question paper is for a 50 marks, whereas the question paper is for 30 marks, we give a timings of 1 hour maybe. So that is a calculated time and motion study with respect to the historical survey, is it or not? So this was the time and motion study. So this, in fact, this was a simple experiment being done. So only objective is to track through the time and the movement of a job. This movement of job could be done in which part of the time or at what time it will take. So that was a time and motion study. So next was a differential payment. Once again, I repeat, time and motion study was an experiment being done to track through what should be the time taken for a particular job. So similar differential payment. In this differential payment experiment, he gave certain incentives. Incentives, you know, like a gift or a cash prize. If you do this job, we'll give with the production. So in this plan, what happened was the workers who used to receive low piece rate, if they produce a standard number of production, that is the number of pieces they produce high, they would give the incentives. In this case, what had happened, you could see the difference that the person who you never used to do more work, that is they never used to use the target, they achieve the target. So the conclusion from the differential payment was that the attraction of high production, that is if I give more money, the work will be more. So that was the case in this case. So hence giving incentives would motivate workers to increase the production. So that was the case in the case of a differential payment. So maybe this has not been explained, I'm just dictating. So what is being happening in the case of time and motion study, the consent was to find out the time, how much the time the particular work will take. In the case of differential payment, it was a case of incentive. Given the incentive, the target could be achieved more rather than not giving the incentives. So third was a drastic reorganization of supervision. So in this case, what happened was the concept of it focused on a major two concepts, that is separation of planning and giving the ownership to the other functional people. In simple example, I would say interchanging the responsibilities. So for a short duration, 3 months, one person will managing the particular job. So rotating that particular job was the drastic reorganization of supervision. But in this case, Taylor suggested that always work should be planned by a particular person or a manager, not by the worker. So drastic reorganization of supervision had an effect on production. So this was a scientific recruitment and training. So this was one of the suggestion by the Taylor, taking into the consideration that need for a scientific selection and development of the workers. So overall, the management should develop and train every workers so that he can enable him to a higher or more interesting work in the environment compared to his previous work. So meaning that scientific recruitment training or the workshops always give a brush up for a particular concepts to be developed. Always there should be intimate friendly cooperation between the management and workers should be there. This is also one of the early approaches concepts, saying that in order to achieve an organizational objective or organizational plan, we should have a good friendly cooperation between the management and the workers. The same thing has been explained here, Taylor scientific management. So administrative management. So in the case of administration, the focus is on not on individual in terms of a group. The major focus of the administrative management, you could so the various management function were organized such as planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. So our Henry Fayol developed 4 general principles of this management with respect to the administrative management. There were 14 general principles of a management. So in fact, everything to be discussed in detail, division of labor. So I'll just show you what all the Henry Fayol's 14 principles. Division of a labor. So in fact, division of work in a management process produces more and better work with the having the same effort. So in this case, various functionalities such as planning, organizing, directing, and controlling cannot be performed efficiently. So next is authority. So maybe authority means responsibility. So management, usually it is a art of getting the things work done through the people. So in fact, authority, I would say it is a responsibility. In fact, it is closely related to the authority, and it may arise whenever authority is exercised. So similarly, we have other principles such as discipline. So discipline is absolutely an essential in order to have a smooth running of the business. So unity of command. In fact, these all the theoretical part are the part of the 14 principles created by the administration management under Fayol. So I hope all of you could go through this. So if the question is explain the 14 principles of administration management, or if the question could be list the 14 principles of administrative management and explain any 2 or 3. So in that case, you should be able to explain this. So finally, we have a bureaucratic management. So historically, bureaucracy was the history in 1910 by the one of the German sociologist. This is the historical part that has been given here. So in fact, in the case of bureaucracy, leader oriented administration will be there, where there is no delegation of management function. All the employees serve as a loyal subjects to a leader. In fact, in bureaucratic administration, the delegation of management responsibilities is totally based on the personalities, that is the ability to hold the position. How does he hold the position? Here, no person can claim a particular position. That is a kind of bureaucracy, either because of his loyalty to the leader or because of the position has been traditionally held. In the case of bureaucracy, people earn the position because they are capable of satisfy the responsibility. So there are many importance of the bureaucratic management and few limitations also. So even this thing you can go through the concept. So quantitative approaches. So quantitative approaches, we have, as I said, an example. There are certain calculations that is a, it is not a qualitative data, it is a quantitative data. So operations research is one of the example for a quantitative approach. So ultimate object in operations research is optimization to get the optimized result. Even in the case of a simplex method, a dual simplex method, you have seen ultimate goal is to get the optimized result, right? So even in the case of transportation problem, assignment cost, you to calculate the optimized cost. So all of you could give the attendance minimal with the this concept. We will go through this concept, quantitative approach. The diagram shows the characteristics of the quantitative approaches. So one of the thing that you can say measurable criteria, that is you have some of the value so that you can measure it in terms of a numericals. So quantitative approaches make use of computers. So starting from the calculator, so we have the higher end at the computer. It is represented in terms of a model. The model is a quantitative. In the sense we have a numerical analogy.